Last week I did make you guys a promise. I would donate $1 for every like last week's video got, and last week's video ended up receiving 11 likes, so I ended up donating $11 to George Floyd's Memorial Fund. I want to thank you guys. You guys are the main catalyst behind this. Thank you for your undying support for my show, our channel, and most of all, the movement. I'll continue to be doing things to encourage the movement, and if you guys want to see more things like this, make sure to comment down below. And I just want to thank you. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Debates with Nav on the Right Way Sports Network. I'm your host, Pranav Sriraman, and as always, make sure to go follow me on Instagram at SportsWorldDebates for daily sports content. And if you have any thoughts, comments, concerns, or anything to comment on any one of my takes, make sure to go tweet me at SWDTweets1. So in this episode, we're going to be breaking down a little bit of film on Maccabi Tel Aviv's forward, Deni Avdija, who's an NBA draft prospect, and keep in mind he did win the EuroLeague MVP. The last EuroLeague MVP who was coming into the NBA as a draft prospect was Dallas Mavericks point guard Luka Doncic. So he's in that conversation. So that's the type of caliber player he is, just going into this video. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down his strengths, weaknesses, and where I rank him as a prospect overall. So without further ado, let's check it out. Shout out Swiss Hoops for the highlight montage. Nice pass. Again, excellent pass. Great lob. Maybe on that lob he could have gotten it a little bit outstretched. Like he kind of forced the pass a little bit too early, but that's fine to work with as long as he makes it work. Again, great pass. He finds the holes in the defense. Oh, I love this pass. So right here, these two defenders right here, which I'm pointing to, he saw that the guy was cutting. His defender was leaving the initial guy cutting to the basket, and so he broke through both the defenders with his bounce pass, got it to the open man cutting in the lane, and who put it up for the easy two. I love that. Great playmaking instincts. Again, finds the open guy for the great basket. That's exactly what you want out of your primary playmaker. Again, his playmaking is off the charts. This is my first time watching this guy. His playmaking is off the charts. Recovers the basketball. Again, that's the exact same situation which I was just talking about. He gets the ball right here, dribbles it out, finds that this guy lays off his initial defender, breaks the defense, and gets the guy who's cutting for the easy two. I love this. Again, it's the same recipe for success. Oh my god. Very flashy. And in that instance, I'm okay with this since it was needed. Great defensive instincts. He doesn't even need to see. That's the thing I like. He doesn't get too flashy or overexerted with his defense. He just stands there and jumps when he has to. He just mildly jumps. He doesn't swat his hands or anything. That's a very patient defender, and then that's something you're going to value at the highest level. He can defend without tacking on easy fouls, so that's something to look out for. Again, he just gets a piece of the ball. He just jumps. He doesn't swat at anything, try to tack on easy fouls, or go for that highlight play. He jumps. He knows he has a height advantage. He's 6'9". He just jumps a little bit, keeps his hands outstretched with his long wingspan, and hopes that the ball is going to bounce off with his long reach. And it does exactly that every time. So that's a great defensive instinct. He knows that he doesn't have to draw get easy fouls called on him on the defensive end. That time he swatted, but it worked. He's putting his hands up. You see, he's just putting his hands up. He's just playing hands-up defense, and the other guy on the other team can't score on someone who's just playing hands-up defense at 6'9". See, if the initial offensive player gets past him, he could swat, but he realizes that he doesn't have to if he's just keeping his body in front of him. That's a mistake a lot of NBA players have, which he's already mastered. He doesn't need to swat at the ball every single time when he's on defense. He could just use his stretch, and he could just stay hands up. That's excellent instincts. I love this. Again, he's a help defender in that situation. He came back, he saw the guy was going up for the shot, and he got him from behind. That's great instincts. Again, this is spectacular defense. So, see, the thing with this defense, though, is a lot of times we don't know how EuroLeague defense will translate to the NBA, but based on what we see in the film, we could see that his EuroLeague defense is elite. He's an elite post defender and a rim protector. He's not a rim protector because he's obviously 6'9". He's more of a forward, so he's a post defender. But at post defending in the EuroLeague, he's elite at it. We have to see it translate to the NBA level, though, before we say he's automatically going to be an elite defender at the NBA level. Because keep in mind, a lot of the guys he's playing against have a different style of play than what he sees regularly in the NBA, and that's okay. You can make transitions to your game, but it just keeps in mind what the competition is, and he's going against guys with different skill set and different style of play. On the fast break, see right here, it's after this, but on that play, he knew that right here, he knew that two big men right here. He knew that they're slower than him. He knew that he was faster. They couldn't keep up. So he splits that defender. He splits the other defender, and he runs, uses his athleticism, goes up for the easy dunk. He knows. He's a very smart player. Again, using his size to his advantage. This is what you want to see out of your small forward. Again, he's very good at splitting the defense. He knows that guys are slower than him on the fast break, so he's just going to split past them, use his speed, and use his long reach and athleticism to go for the easy dunk. This is exactly what you want to see. I'm very impressed. He has a lot of range with his jump shot, but in that situation, he could have gone for a better pass, like right here. I think, yeah. It's after this where he splits the defense and goes for the easy dunk. But right here, when he got the ball, there was a better play he could have made. He saw Quincy Acey, number 2, in the corner. He could have made a pass going there for the easy 3. But instead, he settled for a contested 3. And although he did make it, it wasn't necessarily the right decision in that instance. So it's just the little things he has to work on. Again, he probably could have found an easier shot for his teammates over there, but again, he made it, so there's not really much we could complain about. If he thinks he's going to make it, by all means. See, right there. That's a perfect shot. He knew he was open. He took his time. He settled for a shot. And a lot of times, I have to mention this, you guys are going to look at the stats after this video. I know you will, because I'm the one who's like one of the main stat guys. But make sure you guys know, EuroLeague stats and NBA stats are very different. Luka Doncic shot 28% from 3 during his EuroLeague season, his final year going into the NBA, and people were concerned about his 3-point shooting. Deni Avdija, according to the stats, shoots 20% from 3. The stats are very deceiving coming from EuroLeague and NBA. They're not the same stats. Like, I'm not saying they aren't the same, but there's a different amount of context you have to use. Film is the best thing you can use to rate a EuroLeague prospect, not the stats. Just keep that in mind. Going for the easy basket. He has a long reach. He just posterizes that defender. Playing isolation. Again, there was a... Right here, you can even see his teammate calling for the ball. I'm going to stop pausing so much. I'm just going to keep commentating. But right here, you see his teammate right here is calling for the ball because he has a better shot. But he still took the contested 3, and although he made it, he could have probably found a better play than that. Open 3, splash. Very nice shot. It's a very smooth stroke. You just need to find consistency with it. Someone he reminds me of is Oklahoma City Thunder forward Danilo Gallinari, except probably a better playmaker. He reminds me a lot of Danilo Gallinari. Yeah. See, right there, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He could go for those contested layups, but if he just stopped for a minute, he could have found the guy in the corner for the easy three. And we know he's a good playmaker, so he has the ability to do that. It's just sometimes he has to be a primary scorer too, and he can get tunnel vision sometimes. But if he makes it, I can't complain that much, but it's just the little things you have to notice in the course of a game. In the course of a 48-minute game, you have to notice those little things, which you can improve upon. Open three, splash. Nice. Got past the initial defender. He was in the inside. He had the advantage. He just put it up for the easy two. Open three. See, he has a very nice set shot. That's it. That's one thing. He has a very nice set shot. When his foot is set, when he's open in the corner, you're almost guaranteed that he's going to make it. Or not guaranteed, but you can rely on him to make it consistently. A lot of guys in the NBA today have problems with their jump shot, but knowing that he doesn't really have a problem with his jump shot is something that's encouraging for teams to look at when you're drafting a player like this. Contested three. In the post. Very good at using his other hand to shy away the defender. Very crafty with his layups. That's what I like to see. He's open in the corner. He makes that basket. Excellent. Open three, you could rely on him for days. So right off the bat, we know he's a good shooter. I don't care what the stats say at all in terms of EuroLeague stats. He's a good shooter in my opinion. Just based on form, based on fluid motion, he's great from the catch and shoot, and we know he can hit he can hit that contested shot. So right off the bat, I think he's a good shooter. I don't care what the stats say at all. Very good at driving too. In the corner. Green light. He was mildly contested, but I'll take that shot too. Cutting for the open basket. He's a great I wouldn't say great, but he knows what to do off the ball. He can be effective off the ball. That's critical in the modern NBA. A lot of players, let's talk about this. Some players like Ben Simmons or like a James Harden, they need the ball in their hands 24/7. Otherwise, they can't be effective without the ball. What we just saw there is he knows what plays to make without the ball. That's critical in the modern NBA. And I'm not saying he can't be a great player if he wasn't effective off the ball, but it makes him even better that he is effective without the ball. Nice. Catch and shoot three. Gonna get open. Right there. He just has that shot over his head, and it goes in almost every time from the catch and shoot. Again, catch and shoot. Every time you get him in the catch and shoot, he's been a reliable option. Sky hook. Catch and shoot. Three. See? It's repetitive. That fluid motion. Constantly perfecting your craft. That's what he's doing with that catch and shoot game. He catches it. He already knows that muscle memory is already in his brain. And another thing with the stats, which I was mentioning earlier, it's not that I completely hate EuroLeague stats. It's just that they're very deceiving since they're often backed by very little context, and you don't know what actually goes on without watching the actual film. Like I said, Luka Doncic in the EuroLeague shot 28% in his final season, and we all know he's not that bad of a shooter in the NBA. There's different contexts which you have to use. Finishing with his right hand. That's a problem. That's a problem. I just skimmed past that. But right here, not here, but in the next layup, he finished it. He went to the left side, but he finished it with the right hand. He has to, in the NBA, you have to get more ambidextrous with your layup package. You see right there, he finished with his left. I like that. We need, like, as a player, like last year with RJ Barrett as a draft prospect, I was very concerned that he couldn't finish with both hands. He was always trying to go with his left hand, even when he was on the right side. But we need more players to be ambidextrous coming out of the draft because there's more ways to avoid a defender in the paint being ambidextrous. And right there, we saw that he could finish with his left hand without an open defender. But when there was a defender closing in on him, he had to go back to his right hand and defer. So that's a little thing he could work on, but it's a cause for concern that he's not very ambidextrous going up for the layup. He just tries to stick with his right hand every single time. I can make this catch and shoot three. I guarantee it. Yep. Catch and shoot three. Yes, sir. Broke past the defender. Yep. I wouldn't say he has a great, like, all-star type handles, but he's a very good catch and shoot. That's where the Danilo Gallinari comparison comes in. His ability to play as a catch and shoot three and play in the post as a big forward. Got past his defender. Yep. Fade away shot. Catch and shoot three. So reliable from the catch and shoot, but based on what I've seen so far. Can finish a contested layup, but again, it was with his right hand. But even then, he was on the right side, so that was a good decision. Catch and shoot three, and super reliable from catch and shoot three based on what I've seen. If he's put into a system like Golden State, he could thrive being a catch and shooter. And I've heard that they're targeting him. It could be a great situation. He could fill in that role of kind of like a Kevin Durant. No, I'm not saying he's replacing Kevin Durant, but he could do a lot of the things Kevin Durant does. Be open on the catch and shoot, drive to the basket, make plays probably even at a better rate than Kevin Durant, even though Kevin Durant's a far better player than Deni. Deni could replicate some of the things Kevin Durant does on a basketball court. Right-handed finish. Got past his initial defender, faked him out. Great fundamentals. On a lot of these lobs that are coming to him, he hasn't really finished with a dunk, and that's okay. It just shows, like, he's not the most explosive guy on the court, if you know what I mean. His dunk package isn't really like that, and that's okay. You're not looking for, like, a flashy player when you're drafting someone. You're looking at their overall talent as a whole and what they can do other than just dunk or be a raw athlete. Off-ball movement. Again, he was cutting from that corner, and he was going in, trying to find an open spot where he can be an effective shooter. Getting cut for the basket for the layup. He knows how to fill spots off the ball. I love that. That's so critical in this modern NBA. Catch and shoot three. What's new? Fast break opportunity. Let's see what he does. He went for the layup. Let's see. What hand did he finish with? It's after this catch and shoot three. He was on the fast break. Yeah, his right hand. And in that instant, he should finish with his right hand because he was on the right side. Okay. Right hand again. See, that is my problem. That is my problem. he went back to his right hand, even though he should have finished with his left, going to the left side. And that's okay. A lot of players have that issue coming out, but it's just a little cause for concern because that makes it a defender's job when he's in the paint so much easier, because it's so much easier to block off the right hand than the left hand because it's an easier reach. Catch and shoot 3. Lob up. I'm not going to break down the entire video. I'm guessing since this is an 18-minute video and we've seen a lot of what he can do already, I'm just looking at a little bit more. He's a solid finisher. I'm not saying he's not very crafty at finishing, but he has good fundamentals in terms of finishing. He can get past the initial defender. Goes for the easy dunk. Very good at getting past defenders with his size and his quickness. That was kind of a lucky shot. Then he cut it. Again, very good at getting past defenders, using his quickness, his fundamentals, and his size. Catch and shoot 3. And finish to the basket. So I think we have a pretty good sample size to go off of in terms of what type of player he is. He's a great playmaker. He's a solid defender. He's a solid finisher, and he's a very good catch and shoot player. So yeah, that Danilo Gallinari comparison stands for me, and he could do a lot of things on the basketball court. It's just how will his defense and how will his overall game translate to the NBA level is the main cause for concern. And his weaknesses is not very ambidextrous, and sometimes he can get tunnel vision because he wants to go for maybe a tougher shot when his teammates are open for a better shot. So it's just those little things he has to work on. But other than that, I think he's a very solid prospect. I'm not saying he's the most talented by any means, but he's a sure bet. Like if you're gonna draft someone and you're gonna expect them to be not like a bust but not like a superstar, he could be a superstar or he could be a bust, but the likelihood is very unlikely of both. He's going to be a solid player regardless. So when you're drafting a player like this, it's a very sure bet that you're getting a great quality player. But that's it for this episode of Film Breakdown on Debates with Nav. I'll be back next week. I'm out for now, y'all. Peace.